Ready.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.gov, diabetes is the seventh leading cause of death in the United States. Diabetes affects 25.8 million people, of which 18.8 million people are diagnosed and 7 million are undiagnosed. Diabetes can cause health-related complications such as heart disease, hypertension, stroke, kidney disease, blindness, and lower extremity amputations. My grandfather Jack was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in 1991. He died in 1995 from complications from diabetes-related heart disease. By focusing on diabetes prevention, people can protect themselves against a number of diabetes-related problems. Today, I will tell you about diabetes and pre-diabetes. Then I will tell you about short and long-term short and long-term complications. And finally, diabetes prevention and control. Now let's start with diabetes and pre-diabetes. According to the web page Diabetes Prevention Control Program, diabetes is a disease in which the body does not produce enough insulin or properly use insulin, which is a hormone that converts sugar and starches and other foods into energy needed for daily life. There are two types of diabetes. Type 1 is an autoimmune disease which the body does not produce enough insulin, which most often occurs in young children and young adults. Type 2 diabetes is a metabolic disorder resulting from the body's inability to produce enough insulin or properly use the insulin, most common in older adults. Prediabetes is a condition in which individuals have a blood glucose level higher than normal, but high enough to be classified as diabetes. There are 79 million adults in the United States with prediabetes. People with prediabetes have a risk of developing type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. It can be diagnosed with 3 tests. One test is the A1C test. The second test is a fasting plasma blood glucose test, and the third test is oral glucose tolerance test. Now that you know a little bit about prediabetes and diabetes, now I will tell you about the short and long-term complications of diabetes. One short-term complication of diabetes is hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar. This occurs when blood glucose levels drop below normal as a result of excessive exercising and potent medication. Another short-term complication is hyperglycemia, which is high blood glucose sugar. This occurs when there's too much blood glucose circulating in the blood as a result of the body's inability to produce enough insulin, or the insulin produced by the body is not sufficient. Long-term complications are heart disease, which is the leading cause of diabetes-related deaths. Stroke among diabetics is 2 to 4 times higher. 73% of diabetics have high blood pressure above 140/90. Diabetic blindness is the leading cause of blindness. Leading cause of new cases of blindness. 44% of kidney failure is caused by diabetics. Severe forms of nerve disease are a major contributing factor for lower extremity amputations. Now that you know a little bit about short and long-term complications, let me tell you about prevention and control. According to the web page Diabetes Prevention, 5 tips of control on the Mayo Clinic website. Physical activity helps insulin work better, lowers blood sugar, and help reduce the risk of diabetes-related problems. Eating a healthy, balanced diet and choosing the adequate amounts of vegetables and fruits, whole grains, low low fat, dairy products, healthy fats such as canola and olive oil, low proteins such as lean meat, fish, baked beans, and eating at regular times and controlling the amounts of carbs you eat at each meal and snack. We can see that diabetes prevention protects people against diabetes-related problems. Let's review what I told you today. Today I told you about diabetes and pre-diabetes, and I also told you about short and long-term complications, and I told you about diabetes prevention and control. Today, take the diabetes risk test to determine the risk for diabetes and pre-diabetes. In addition, have your blood sugar checked by your family doctor at your local health department. Thank you.